We're into. There we go. We're now properly live, so that's good.
Who Willie's Minge?
Oh.
Oh, ho, ho. You know what?
So it's better?
This was the way that I sort of wanted this to go.
Okay.
So, because the three of you have horses in, I was thinking, I was figuring out a way to set it all up, and I think my thoughts was basically the way that it's just rolled out.
Okay. Nice working with you then.
So it's actually worked out perfectly, in my mind. But that doesn't make anybody's more important. That doesn't make anybody's less important.
Right.
Yes.
I just noticed something, DM, before we go any further.
Yeah.
Neff is still on death saves, and I believe he's off them, and he's on about 10 HP.
Yes, he probably would be.
So yeah, I just thought, why have I got another character page open? And then I realised it was Neff, so just a quick thing.
Yeah. What did we roughly say? Sorry, 10 HP.
About
Yeah.
10 HP.
Yeah, I'll give him 10
So,
HP.
yeah.
It's fine. He's going to get a long rest. So,
Momentarily.
I'm not going to hit us with a recap this evening. Anybody that was there last session knows how the battle ended and how things progressed. Abigail, your giant form regresses and you go back to your normal size. You feel a little bit exhausted from the exertion of the battle. So if you could mark up one exhaustion point for me, please. One level of exhaustion.
Okay.
I know we were going to speak about it at some point, but I think, you know what, just one level of exhaustion shouldn't.
Yeah, it's the first time Abby's done it twice in a day, so
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So, the group outside of the House of Healing, you all look at each other as the bodies of the drow and the assassins that still live disappear. You all get a sense of achievement. You slogged through this very difficult battle. You all survived. Everything seems to be in order. There seems to be a stillness and a peace in the night air. From the two of you there, can I get perception checks, please? It's not a high DC, so do not worry if it's a low roll.
You were saying?
Yeah. Jesus Christ, guys.
You just outdid the ranger.
Yeah. I did say that it wasn't important for a big roll there, but okay, just...
To be fair there, I mean, the only reason I beat the ranger is because I got a 19.
Yeah.
Fair.
Near enough a nat 20.
Yeah.
You see Mouse topple over, holding her head slightly, drops to her knees, and you see just this absolute welly of pain hit her.
Did you just say a willy of pain?
A welly of pain. Don't you think about your willy when it comes to Mouse. That
Down, bad dog.
Get the horny spray.
Bonk.
Yeah, the two of you, whilst everybody else seems to be a little bit groggy from the battle, you two definitely see Mouse topple over. You go running over to her, and you just see like her eyes are sort of rolled up into the back of her head, and almost instantaneously she snaps out of it and just looks up at you both and shouts, "I feel something's wrong with Emeris." With that perception checks you guys have, you hear running along some of the side streets heavy plate and heavy boots chiming off of the stone floors, and a bunch of guards run past. Now they can't see anything they can't see anything within the area because the drow disappeared, but they see you as they're running past. Quick, quick! Get off the streets! Get off the streets! We've just had reports of a murder.
What?
And the guards, no, we're on our way. Just hold off. Mouse just looks up at the two of you in complete shock and anguish. What do the two of you do?
I just look at everyone and go, I know we're tired, but fuck, we've got to move right now and start running.
Yeah. Abby's sort of already pulled Vondra to start getting Vondra to move, because Vondra normally zooms out after a fight.
Yeah. And I've sort of got Neff, I've sort of helped Mouse up. And just got Ness down on my shoulders, like, come on, we gotta go.
Can I get survival checks from the two of you, please?
I... middle of the round.
Oh, fuck me. Another 19. It's 22.
Ah, girl.
Okay, these are now my new favourite dice for the moment.
What ones are you using?
Good question. Dice?
So,
Is it the new sparkly snowy ones?
I'm not sure they might be, actually.
No, I'm using the new sparkly snowy ones.
No, dice of true colour.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
so all of you as a group pick up your heels and start running. You start sprinting off, following where the guards are going, maneuvering throughout all the streets. You hear off in the distance the clattering of blades, and all of a sudden an almighty scream rents the air. You turn a corner and see quite a heartbreaking sight.
Shit.
As your friend and compatriot Emrys, with one arm and one of his scimitar blades rammed through the back of and holding up a guard of the Starlight Peaks.
What the fuck?
you get a sense he is in an uncontrollable rage. And you see just the bloodlust in his eyes as he rents this body down and pulls it in half as he brings the blades out. With more... Yeah, when you go.
Sorry. I was just going to say there's just a look of absolute shock and horror on Stormcrow's face as he just sees the guy who classed one of his best friends doing something like this. I mean, he's seen it do it before, but to a guard, it's just like, what the fuck just happened?
You see around his standing form the bodies now of 4 guards, 2 of which no longer have heads. One, a massive gaping hole in his chest where once his heart lay, and now 2 halves of the one that you've seen him rip apart with his blades, and a look of ferocious ferality in his rage. He catches you guys. Emrys, can I get a Constitution saving throw, please?
Yes. Is this a disadvantage because of what's going on?
I would say so.
$11.
You start to get a sense of yourself. But as you do, you hear heavy boots surrounding you once more as more guards appear around the corners and surround you with heavy halberds and spears and any elongated weapon they can. More begin filing up behind your friends. What do you do in this instance?
Does
Well-
Emrys look injured? Or does it look like he's just literally been slicing through them like paper?
Give me a perception check, please, or an investigation.
Yeah, we're gonna go for the better of the 2.
I'm going to do a perception check as well, just to see if I can see what the fuck is going on.
What the fuck is going on?
Oh, 30-20.
Nice.
24 for myself.
Pardon me. The 2 of you looking around the area and looking at Emrys, you can see that he does have wounds on him, very slight. Some seem to be arrow attacks, some seem to be burns, some seem to be cuts.
So we can sort of surmise that this has been going on for pretty much the entirety of the time we were fighting, if not longer. I would assume.
From the distance that you guys have just had to run, you think that it's gone on not a massive amount of time, but from the looks of the battlefield, like the blood on the ground is still fresh. One of them was still technically alive as you turned the corner. You seen him still wriggling on the end of Emrys' scimitars as he just ripped them apart as you guys turned around.
Stormcrow just sort of leans, just sort of puts Net gently down to one knee and just runs over and just stands a bit a distance away from Emrys and just runs over, waving his hands, going, whoa, 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 stop, 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 screaming at the guards.
I'm following up directly behind as well.
Give me a persuasion check, please, Stormcrow. This should be an easy one for you, like, I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I know. I was like, should I help? And I'm like, nah, he's a bad.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a 14 that goes up to a 33 help there. That's yeah. You see they didn't appear to be going in for an attack or anything, but they do seem to be holding themselves back, giving him a little bit of space, even though he's still standing there in a battle rage, as if, imagine the Wolverine being surrounded by enemies. He sort of crouches down that little bit with his blades, looking around. Give me a wisdom saving throw, please, Emrys.
Disadvantage still?
I would say just a normal roll
Okay.
for this one, because the con save, that's another 11 that you've rolled. Do you want to refresh the page?
Refresh.
Yeah, because you did roll quite a few the last time as well.
So while he's doing that, I'm just gonna. Stormcrow's just gonna rub his hands out, and he's just looking straight in Emerson's eyes. Say, "Hey, guy, what's going on? It's me. Tell me. It's okay."
There's nothing to worry about. We're all. It's okay.
Sort of walking very slowly towards him, just with my hand out, trying to keep everyone back, just like walking towards him, just looking at him, just with my eyes just focused right on his. Just what happened?
Hey, that
Tell
guy,
me.
sun's getting real low.
Yeah,
For
right there.
basically, yeah, just like
Right.
that kind of vibe.
Yeah, basically going the full Black Widow on him.
Emrys,
Yeah.
with what they're doing, what do you do?
Still we in the rage, still in the rage, catching their eyes, seeing that it's two of my closest friends. Still the bloodlust running through me, and I'm just swiping my arms because people are getting too close, and I just do the deepest fucking
Sort of give it a
and
little.
drop to my knees and
Sorry,
drop the blades, and then just call out the name Ligus.
With the name Ligus being called out,
You want me to do a history check?
oh, you don't need to history check this. The sound that reverberates around through these streets, hitting off of the buildings and shaking you guys to your very bone. You know who he's shouting for.
I mean,
Mouse.
Stormcrow's anyway, but just now he's gone the colour of the moon as he realises that he knows.
There's a look across from Abby to Stormcrow of fuck.
Emrys will fall forwards, start hammering his fist on the ground, tears streaming down his face, mixing with the blood that splashed all across it. Just a
Yeah, you
complete
guys.
emotional mess.
You guys turning up can see he is absolutely covered from head to toe in the blood of these guards. They're essentially eviscerated. The other guards now drawing in closer to Emrys.
I instantly motion to them to stand back still.
Yeah, I just look at him all and go, "Stay away. He's not himself. Stay away. He's just." And I just look at Abigail, just lost. Like, what the fuck do I say to them? For the first time ever, Stormcrow just doesn't know what the hell to do in a situation like this. He doesn't know what to say.
He is not a threat to you right now. He is on his knees. I understand what this situation clearly looks like. We've just walked into all this as well. But rest assured, this is one of your lords of the land. And from another of yours, and I'll gesture to the rest of the gang as well, hold your position. Do not move any closer. Let this man have his moment.
Stormcrow's just going to keep edging forward slowly, just towards Emerus, just stepping over the bodies, and just trying to getting a bit closer, but not without getting too close to Emerus, because he just knows when he goes into this rage, there's not a lot he can do. And I just sort of kneel down on the floor and just sort of look at him and go, I'm so sorry, my friend. I am so sorry. And it's just tears appearing in his eyes as well. Stormcrow's filling up as well, because you can just see the pain in his best friend's eyes.
Emrys will reach out and grab Stormcrow by the scruff of his shirt and just pull him down to the floor in front of him. When was you going to tell me?
And I'm just looking and just like this tears running down my face. I'm just like, it was everything, man. It was Rondok. It was Mouse. It was Dancer. It was just not the right time. I'm so sorry. And you can just see that his heart is just breaking. Stormcrow's heart is breaking.
Emrys, it all happened so quickly. We would never keep this from you. Never.
Emrys
you were
will
there.
push Stormcrow's body back and slam his fist on the floor again. My son!
I just look up and scream and just scream at them with just tears running down my face. Will you get the fuck back now?
Can I get perception checks from everyone, please? Disadvantage from Emrys and probably Stormcrow, to be honest, with the way that you're distracted.
And wrapped.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly the same twice, 16.
Nice.
That was one off a crit.
7.
Wow, that's a shock.
You managed to catch it, Stormcrow, as well. Not as good as Abby. Emrys, you, in your rage and your emotions and your heartbreak, you don't catch it at all, but the wind feels like it's changing. It now feels like there's a beat on the wind. And you just hear a call in the air. A shriek of sorts. And bursting above you is one of the dragons of Starlight Peaks. A familiar looking dragon to you all, who was on the ship coming into Starlight Peaks. And the rider, as the creature lands on the rooftops and sort of like brings her body down a little bit, constant eyes on Emrys, and seems like something's bubbling in her throat. The rider jumps down and you see Dane Starfall. He takes a moment, looks at the situation, what have you all done? Or what has he done?
I just look at that. Stormcrow just looks up at Dane with tears in his eyes, and he just goes, he's just found out about his son. I don't know what's happened. We just got here. I don't know what's happened. And you can just see there's a look of shock, and he's distraught. He's everything. There's so much going on in Stormcrow's face that first time ever, he doesn't look like he's trying to con anyone. He doesn't look like he's the cheerful, happy soul. He just looks like broken.
You can just hear sobs from Emrys.
There is much to tell things, but rest assured this was not an
He puts his
incident of malice, it was an incident of grief.
He puts his hand up. 4 of my guards lie dead. And he looks at you, Abigail, and sees where you're standing. You're standing over one of the bodies.
I was trying to like maneuver it so that I was like close but not too close. Like narratively, I'm not stood over the body. I'm stood next to it, like in between the squares.
That makes it worse in my mind that if you're between the 2 squares, you're between 2 bodies and the blood pooling around your boots, and he just looks at you all and just seeing you all battered and bruised and whatnot.
Do I catch him catching our bruises? If you get what I mean.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, that had to be down at some point, didn't it?
Oh, natural 2. He rolled a 10. You don't catch him.
Yeah,
He just
that's
looks
fine.
you all. In his mind, he's sort of putting 2 and 2 together, but he's coming up with 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Dang.
signals to all the guards.
Yeah.
Arrest the Arashtra.
Emrys will stand up and just scream, "Leave them alone! This was all on me!"
Emrys, you feel a clunk on the back of the head, and everything just goes black. One of the guards hit you and knocked you out.
Creepy thing, just as you said that it went black, my screen on my laptop dimmed.
Jesus Christ.
I have access to all your things.
Wow.
You don't want to have my laptop, seriously. If you do, then you need to delete your hard drive. I mean, you burn it.
I mean, Trojans have nothing on his.
Yeah. People try and fucking sell you back all your stuff. You're like, please, come on, take this back, you know. We'll pay you to have all this. No, guys.
No. You wanted my identity? You take it.
Yeah. You get all this problems.
Yeah, welcome to my life. What? Sitting in a cab, crying, eating Cheetos. Yep, that's what identity theft does to you.
So, Emrys gets clonked in the back of the head, and now a few of the guards you see just wrestle on his body, grab a few shackles, and just sort of twist them around his arms and legs and things, and then just bind him. Lord Dane Starfell just just takes out his blade and just, not in a threatening manner, you see like the glint of the stellarite that it's made from sheen in the moon's in the night sky. I'm not checking if the moon fucking thing at
That's
the
fine.
moment.
It's fine. We get it.
And just says to you all, you'll be accompanying us now.
Stormcrow just gets up slowly. There's still tears running down his face. Just looks over at everyone and nods and just walks over to the guards and just stands in front of Dane with his hands up, just like, we're not arguing, we're not fighting.
One of the guards comes over and just places the shackles on your hands and your wrists, puts it at the front so you're a bit more comfortable, and starts pulling you away.
Why does this always happen?
Notice I say pulling you away and not pulling you off for once.
Well, I mean, he's normally not into bondage, but you know.
Abigail, another one, comes up to you, does the same. You guys look back, you see tears absolutely flowing from Mouse. She seems absolutely broken. Nephilis standing there, quiet as a church mouse. Sensoril seems to be absolutely distraught, and Vondra, just that glazed look in her eyes. Emrys is like her hero in this group, and seeing him fall has really hurt her.
As
Other
they're
guards
sort
go
of,
over.
as they're
Yep.
sort of cuffing Abby, sorry, go on, yeah.
No,
Go on, mate,
on
you
you.
Abby's gonna sort of more or less whisper to themselves, just going, feels like history just always repeats around me. Just another time in shackles. And then that's my bit. Anyway, once you Stormcrow.
Stormcrow just looks at Dane and goes, I don't know what's gone on, but I promise you there's an explanation for our wounds, and I'll give them to you when we get back to the keep or the castle or wherever you're going to take us.
You're going somewhere we've not had to use in a while. Get them to the prison. And you see him just remount Astra. Astra give you all this strange look. Abby, you just hear in your head from the hissing coming from her. A disappointment from this group. As her wings like a torrent once more, and
Yeah. And Astra goes off too fast for me to even try and retort, I'm guessing.
yeah, she's a massive dragon.
Yeah, I know.
Of power, like this thing near enough through you guys. Like even trying to take a breath in her, in the presence of her wings beating,
Wing beats,
is like trying to
yeah.
breathe in a hurricane. You're all dragged through the levels of Starlight Peaks. I'll use the photo of Abby for it, but you guys were still essentially in the dock areas. You get quickly like hustled through the lower areas, and just as you think you're away to sort of come towards the palace, you veer off a little bit and go past like the Gungson residence and get taken to one of the cavernous walls around like in the mountainside that the peaks are carved into, and taken into an unusual area, one that you have not seen yet. You're all thrown off into cells. You guys are used to cells. You've been caught partying a little too hard once in a while, been thrown into them to drown your sorrows a little bit. Every single one of you in separate areas. Apart from Emrys, he's been taken to a completely different group of cells. You see, as you guys were marching in, more guards being brought, a few of them dwarves, and they all have been marched in, lined up to keep an eye on you all. Stormcrow and Abigail, you get thrown in cells beside each other. Actually, I'll retcon this a little bit. Emrys, you get chucked in a cell beside them as you're sort of reawakening. You just hear one of the guards saying, "We're getting the other room ready for him." Give me a con save, Emrys. About an hour.
9.
About an hour passes after you guys have just been thrown into here, and Emrys, you begin to stir once more, and you wake up to find Abigail and Stormcrow in adjacent cells to you. None of you have your weapons. You don't have your loot, Stormcrow. Emrys, none of your weapons or valuables are there. It's the same with the others. They've all been stripped of their things and thrown into the cells across the road, across the bit from you. Satchel was taken off and put into a different area from the rest.
So pretty much we've been stripped of all our armour and everything. We're basically just left in the clothes we were wearing when we went to the party because we just chucked all our armour over the top of those.
Yeah, essentially. Anything that you've been searched, make sure that there's nothing that you've got, like that your bag of holding and stuff like that, that there's nothing on you that can be used to make this situation any worse. So, Emrys, you awaken.
I'll kind of pull myself up onto the bed, just sit myself down, and just put my head into my hands, rubbing my face and head, feeling where I got hit. Oh. Where am I?
A jail cell.
What are you doing in the jail cell as well?
We all are.
Fuck, this is all my fault.
No.
Yes, it is my fault.
Big guy. And I'm sure Stormcrow will agree. And the others. Because of the way things happened, it looks like we were involved. We weren't, and we know that, but also it was our fault that you found out however you found out, which I do want to know, but I also know probably a bit too fresh right now. So, I'm not going to push, but just know that it's all going to be okay. We're going to get things cleared up, hopefully. Just for now, let them run through this stuff and we'll get it cleared up. I think we've been in worse situations before, don't you think?
Not as bad as this.
There's a sort of semi-nod of, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right, but nothing out loud.
You want to know how I found out?
If you're okay to share.
I saw through Mouse's eyes. And Stormcrow showed her the box.
And this Stormcrow just puts his head in his hands, and he's just, you can see, he's just like, oh God.
You could do that?
No. The bracelet, it burnt. And then I wasn't myself. I could see Rondok, and I could see you, Stormcrow. You stood there with Nephilos and Sensoril. But I wasn't myself.
Oh. Oh shit. Well, I'm sure you understand that's not how we wanted you to find out. The only reason we showed Mouse was we wanted to make sure we were right before we brought you that information.
But you waited so long.
You can just hear a small voice from the cell at the end, like furthest away from you, just like, I didn't want to make that long. We were attacked. I wanted to tell you. I'm so sorry. And I just put my head back in my hands again, and I'm just sort of lying there, just sitting there, just facing away from you, just sort of like just sitting on the floor. Don't give a shit how fancy my clothes look. They're covered in dirt, and I'm just like, there's blood all over me, and I'm just like, and all you can just hear is just, I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter now. You do not belong in here. You have not done anything wrong.
Me.
Emerus will get up and walk over to the cell and shout out to one of the guards. You need to release them. They have not done anything wrong.
Amaris,
You see,
calm down.
you
Well,
see
that
one of the
not wrong.
guards.
Calm down.
Oh, give me an intimidation check on that one, please.
"12.
Give me an insight from Abigail, please.
Bite a perk. 22?
You get a bit of a flag from Emrys's scream at you, but you see through why he's shouting. And you sort of like hold your own that little bit with him.
Yeah.
But the guard closest, just sort of turns in step and just stares at you, Emrys. It's not for us to decide. The king will be here soon. And he turns on step once more and goes back into sort of like almost stone-like rigidity, standing there on guard.
Amaris, I know you weren't there, and I get that, and it feels like it may have been too long to give you that information, but the Stormcrow said a few moments ago we were attacked, and, well, we nearly lost Neff and Stormcrow in that fight. Just... This is still all the same night as well, isn't it? It's only been like a few hours since the warehouse at this point, hasn't it, DM?
This is all the same night.
This is about 2 hours. Warehouse.
Yeah.
2-3 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, three. We're sitting at about 3 hours after the warehouse.
I mean, Emrys, you know we would never keep a secret from you. You know that we would have told you for sooner. We were ambushed. And I know the pain. Not to the same level, I'll admit that, but the pain of losing a loved one is never easy.
Can you guys give me history checks, please? Not
I
Emrys, but Abby and Stormcrow.
not my best skill.
As
I-
Abigail was
I-
saying that,
Yeah,
Fuck me. Good. 20.
nat 1.
Oh Jesus! Yeah. So, what you guys are sort of what you realise, Stormcrow, that what Emrys is referencing is when you guys caught up to him in Central, and the time they spent in the healing house with you all. That there was moments and opportunities to tell him.
Do you know, the fact that Abby nat 1 on that one is perfect, given the fact that, like, Abby's trying to be the talker right now.
Yeah. What was it you were wanting to say there, Stuart?
Emrys is when Abigail says about how they were attacked. Emrys was gonna turn and just slam his fist against the wall, like we were at the healing house.
Yeah.
And he'll just collapse backwards, drop his head into his hands, and just start crying again.
You'll see Abby, like, instinctively go to reach out and then remember that there's bars blocking the way, and just sort of crestfallen, let their hand drop slowly, and sort of hang their head a bit, realizing that at this moment there's nothing further they can say.
So, you guys get a little bit of downtime to yourselves, probably about half an hour or so. And you just see
enough for a short rest.
You can take a short rest if you want.
While that's happening, Stormcrow just looks at some of the guards and goes, "Is there any chance we can get a doctor down here for some people? That's all we want. I promise you, on our honor." And you just sort of give a sad smile. What's left of it? We won't do anything.
Give me a persuasion check, please. I know this is going to be a good one, but still.
Well, not that great. 21.
21. The guard sort of turns and looks at you. They've sent for the wizard. I think they should have some healers coming soon as well.
I just sort of nod and go, "Thank you. I know this is not what you wanted to be doing, and I'm sorry you're in this position."
He just stands there, going still once more, on guard duty. Within the hour, you guys can have your short rests, or you hear echoes coming from different rooms, from the room off to the side there, and doors slamming and stuff. Pardon me. And one of the doors opens and a familiar presence steps through. The wizard known as Endymion, sorry. One of the Starlight Peak's highest magical influences, and the person you met at the Old Stone Mage College, wanders through. He stares at you all and has a look of disappointment in his eyes. A little bit of hurt in them as well. I'm sorry. He points to Emrys's cell. The king has requested he be taken into a separate room. And you just hear one of them, like, areas at the back opening up. A few guards come in, a few of the guards at the front step forward, and everybody gets sort of ready. They have like these giant, like Goliath shackles made out in front, and they sort of wait for you. Please put your hands together before we open the cage doors.
I will stand up. I will put my hands together and say, "There is no need. I will come peaceful."
They still put the shackles on, open the doors, but they allow you to put them in front once more, so that you've got a little bit of comfort. And they walk you to the cells in the back, where you see there is quite a heavy presence guarding you through.
As
As he does sort of look at the wizard and go, please, it's not his fault. If there's any blame here, it's with me.
Endymion, if you've got a memory flower or something, just so we can show you what's happened.
This
I mean, I know our word is good enough, but
this is a matter for the king. You can show him as many memories as possible, you can show him reasons, you can show him anything. 4 members of our guard lie dead at the hands of one of our... And he sort of stops a little bit, looks down. One of our nation's protectors. They lie dead at his hands. This matter... Doesn't matter how much I say about this. King Dracano has the final say.
thank you for explaining that.
Points.
Sort of look at him and go, in my bag of holding, there's a pouch of gold. Take the lot. Give it to their families. I know it's nothing, but I'm sorry. Don't tell them where it came from. Don't tell them it came from us. Just say that it's been donated by someone to help them.
I will allow the king to deal with this stuff. He sent me forward so that I may prep everything to come. And he points it to the guards. He wants him in the tower room, pointing to you, Stormcrow. And she wants a conversation with them. in the main hall.
This is the first time now Stormcrow's actually got animated. He stands up and goes, "No, I want to stay with my friends. Why am I being separated?"
The guard comes
Who's-
over,
Who's
opens up your cell, and takes you through to the main door. Right at the main doorway, Abigail.
As we're going through, I'll shout to the others, "We'll be back!"
And
Whoa.
as you get taken into the doorway, into the hall, out of the little room, you see a familiar presence standing there in
Oh,
Morgana Ran.
oh, Morgana. Oh, Morgana. This is so fucked up. Please tell me you can help get them out.
I can't. I'm a visitor here. I have no
Yeah.
I have no say about this. I'm so sorry.
I get that. I do. It's no harm in asking, eh? Oh, this is so fucked.
You see her sort of run her hand through her hair and stuff like that. It's like, fuck. Abigail,
Yeah.
gods. I've heard something
To do
when I
with...
was with Endymion.
Oh, shit.
We got
They,
at the end of the night, we were together, a few of us having a drink. We heard about what happened, and the advisors were basically called to King Turkano in his chambers.
wait, what?
Well, obviously, he had to figure out something to do with people within his trusted circle having just murdered guards.
Yeah.
I mean, they found you all bloodied and battered and dead guards and things like that. I mean, you're all about to be questioned and judged, but and you see her sort of pacing around a little bit, and if this judgment doesn't go right, it could mean death for everyone.
The worst part is our cuts and scrapes and everything are unrelated to what happened.
I'm
But
going to
at
assume
the
you
same
guys...
time,
Oh, sorry,
the-
yep.
it's fine. But at the same time, like, it's so intertwined. It's like you were saying at the party about how everything was circling in around us, and it just feels like it's finally crashing in. On you go.
I'm going to assume that you guys were, like, telling the guards on the way up of everything, and you're like, why you guys have got cuts and scrapes and stuff like that.
Stormcrow, would you have said anything?
Stormcrow's just there with his head down. He's just...
Yeah, would you have said it, like, on the way up, sorry, yeah? When you guys were...
For once in his life, he's leaving everyone else to the talking.
And Abby was dead silent too.
Yeah, so everybody else was basically silent. Because the rest of the players aren't talking much, are yous all?
I know,
Yeah.
the Just leave all the roleplay to us.
Yeah, it's always you guys, isn't it?
All this goddamn effort to be dramatic. Fuck me.
You just see her sort of pacing about the room, and I don't know what to do, if I'm being honest with you. Your case is something unprecedented. It's like what we were talking about in the party. I spoke about it to Endymion as well, and he is fascinated. We were figuring something out before all of this happened.
Right, so you mean the case of me,
Yes.
not the case of everything going on out
No, the
there
case
right
of
now.
you're the case of your corruption,
Okay, just
not what's happening there.
yeah. Abby's like kind of a little bit head spun from just being like, did Morgana give a segue into that, or did she just say case?
Yeah, no, she's just talking about that.
I know it's the way Morgana is, and I love it so much. It's just like with the scenario, it's just perfect.
Yeah, she just turns, and I spoke to Endymion on the way in here. I told him I
Yeah.
wanted to come see you. I don't
Okay.
like making this offer, but it's the only way I can. I think we can fix this. We could fix this, and she's pointing to your arm and stuff like that. And we can. I feel like you're the key to something much bigger than this, and I can't have you dying in a fucking jail cell, or being hanged, or worse.
But
If I give you this offer, it's for you only.
wait,
I
what?
can't take your friends. I can't
So,
do anything for them, but trust me. We will figure out a way, and Endymion is going to figure out a way to help them. Do you want this sorted? And pointing at your arm and touching your arm.
I'd have to go now.
Yes.
Oh, I literally just told them I'd be back. But if I don't, how certain are you that this could help?
I would stake the world on this.
I mean,
Are you willing to stake everything else on this?
it's just, why is it always me? One master to another master, and
I'm not a master.
Jeez.
I'm not a master.
I don't mean you. I don't mean you. Just
This is guaranteed life.
so many times this chapter could have ended. So many times, and yet I'm still here. Why am I still here? At this point, like Abby is just fully within a bubble, just sort of talking to themselves.
She takes her hands and sort of presses them on your face and sort of grabs your attention. You look deep into her violet eyes. You're here to bring about something magnificent. I'm here to help you. This is why we're together now.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check. I would say with everything else it's a disadvantage, but
I know. It would normally be at advantage anyway, so we'll still run it at disadvantage for the narrative, though I want to run it at disadvantage, actually.
Run it at disadvantage.
11.
Yeah, you see a spark of something meaningful in her eyes. In those violet eyes of hers.
Is there... If we go now, can I still get a message across to the rest of them somehow? And will we be coming back? Am I going forever, or... They're my family, Morgana.
We'll figure out a way. Endymion is going to try his hardest to keep them alive. He's going to persuade the king. He's going to do what he can.
Okay.
I promise you can get back to them. But we need to do this now.
Okay.
I can't tell you too much about it here. But to save you and to save them down the line, we are on a time limit now.
Okay. I'm coming. But on one condition.
Name it.
In my stuff, there's a couple of daggers. One of them has a very small jewel on it. When the rest of them get out of this, make sure that is handed to Stormcrow and Stormcrow only.
I'll send the message to Endymion. And she walks over to sort of, like, your guy's stuff is in this area.
Yeah.
And she just starts rummaging through. She finds your bow and some of your armor and whatnot. Is there anything else you want?
So, bow, braces, cloak, half plate. And I'm going to leave the pointy end behind. So it's literally, I'm taking the very basics of what I have, which is the Verdant Guardian's Embrace, Braces of Archery, Cloak of Elving Bind, and Mithril half plate.
So she passes you all that stuff. You get to do what you want. She sort of, you see, she uses a bit of her magic and knocks the shackles on you. And she just, again, takes your hands and you feel something like solid in her hands. You've made the right choice.
For their sakes, I hope so.
You have no idea how right you are. Let's go change the world. And she pushes your hands together. The two, you just feel a crack between your hand and hers. And a strange sensation flow around you. Everything seems to start fading out a little bit. And woof. The two of you are gone.
Yeah.
So, we're going to run it back a little bit. Now, Abigail has just stepped through the door into that strange chamber. Endymion turns around, points to one of the other guards. The king has requested Lord Stormcrow's appearance I went American there. I was forgetting I wasn't doing Morgana there. He needs to meet him in the tower chamber. Guard comes over, opens up your cell, and proffers shackles towards you, Stormcrow.
I hold my hands out in front of me, just like, okay. And I just look over and go, why just me?
Because he wants to speak to you. No.
So I'll give a half back and go, okay, fair.
I have something to go and prep. And he wanders off through some doors. And Stormcrow, you get led down passageways. You go through some of the heavily guarded doors. You go past Emrys's cell. Is there anything you want to say to him as you're passing?
Just sort of look over him. You can just still see there's just a look of guilt on Stormcrow's face, as he's never given a shit about anything before. Not even the stuff he's done in his past, but this is one point that he's like, oh fuck, I can't believe this has happened. For the last couple of hours, he felt guilty more in his life in the last sort of 3 or 4 hours than he has his entire life.
What was that, Emrys?
As Emrys notices Stormcrow coming past, he'll raise his head and just offer a sad smile towards Stormcrow.
And just Stormcrow can't even look him in the eyes. He sees a smile. He just sort of looks down guiltily, just like he feels he can't even meet it. He can't even meet his best friend's look in his eyes.
You get taken through the chambers, and you come to a set of stairs. You start walking up them. A couple of minutes pass. You get to the top of whatever chamber this is. There are, even though there's nothing in the photo, I'll say that there's just a couple of chairs having been sat down.
And probably a guard or two, because at the moment I'm pretty much...
No, as you were sort of getting halfway up the stairs, there was a couple of guards there. They unlocked your shackles and told you to go up. Give me a perception check, please.
Perception check. Just be a roll. Oh, 9.
You're not too concerned about what's in the room. You're still trying to figure things out. Your head is still on your friends. You're still trying to understand what's happening. How can everything have went the way it has tonight? And you just hear one of the chairs behind you being moved and a figure sitting down. Well, I believe it's time we had a chat, don't you, boy? You turn and you face. You see the eyes, the stern eyes you've grown up with, looking straight through you. The disappointment, the rage, everything that you grew up and despise, sitting there, not 10 feet away from you now.
At this point, my expression totally changes. It goes from sort of hangdog and ashamed and everything to just glaring at my father with like, and just looking at him going, what the fuck do you want right now?
What is this? This meeting. I didn't feel I wanted this. No father wants to meet his eldest in a prison.
Sort of have a sarcastic smile on my face and go, well, let's be fair, it's not the first time.
Yes. Don't remind me. The shame of all these years. Still having to try and clean up all the messes you leave.
So long ago, it's almost like trying to get rid of me didn't work. Who would have seen that one coming to home to roost?
Above table, getting rid. What way is that you're meaning? The stuff in the past, or are you insinuating something from this evening?
Mainly from the past.
Right, cool.
'Cause
Just so I know. Yeah, just so I know how to play this. He looks. You chose this path, boy. I warned you time and time again on the actions you chose to do, the consequences that would come of it all. You do not realize who you were. You are the son of a high magistrate. That, and he sort of slams his foot down on the ground from where he's been like cross-legged, that means something. I mean something. The name you so wantingly threw away, that means something. And now, for the first time in, how long is it? 3 years? I see you and you masquerade and you try to act in such a way as to embarrass me even more than what you already do.
And Stoker just sort of looks up and looks in his eyes. Meets his gaze and go, you really think this is about you?
Aye.
You think anything I've done in my life since I left Avalon has been about you?
No.
I sort of look at him and go, you really are completely delusional, aren't you? You actually think that I've thought about you with anything I've done in the past 3 years?
No. You've not thought about me once in anything you've done in the 125 years you have been on this earth. You, for so long, have acted as if you've never had anything. You've always acted as if you've had some sort of hard time growing up. You wanted for nothing. You had so much. You had a name. All that was ever expected was you live up to that. How many elves in this planet would have killed to have someone like me in their corner? And he sort of gets up a little bit. Even though Nothing I could do for you when you were younger seemed good enough. When it was obvious you weren't taking the same paths I did. Did I disown you? Did I get rid of you? As many would have? No. Your mother convinced me to send you off somewhere. You may have blossomed into your own way. Maybe you would have came out of your shell. Maybe you would have fallen in line, having allowed yourself some time away, but no. It played into this fantasy life you had for yourself. Sent you to the finest performing college in Avalon. Imagine that. A high magistrate's son, prancing around with instruments and poetry, instead of learning political, tactical acumen even. I know in my heart nothing you have done in your life has been about me, has been about the family. I just thought you would have had the good graces to at least attempt to show some decorum.
Just sort of look up at it with a dangerous look in my eyes and go, you really think that anything I've ever done in my life has been to hurt you? You think that everything has been about hurting you?
No.
No. Was ever about you. This is about being happy with who I am. I was never like you. I've never been like you. I have always wanted to be my own man. You think I didn't learn something with the studies? Oh, I learned. I learned how to be political. I just didn't use it the way you wanted me to. I didn't want to be in the magisterium. That was never my interest. I've used it in the real world. I've used it to help people outside. I've used it to enjoy my life, but at the same time, I've used it to get on. I've used it to save people's lives. I haven't just sat in some crappy little room discussing one place in the world. I've been all over the world. I've seen people everywhere. I have friends now who I never would have met if I'd just stuck in that shit little room, being who you wanted it to be. And maybe, yeah, maybe you did indulge me too much. Maybe, true, Mother did indulge me, whereas, well, Nastaria, they were more the sort of children you wanted. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's because she wanted me to be happy and realize who I was. At this point, I sort of get up and walk a bit towards him. And you say hard time? You know nothing of hard times, Father. I have been out in this world. I have seen how people are treated. I have seen death. I have lost friends. I have sat in an alley eating pork and beans. You think there's nothing I haven't done in this world, Father? Yes, I've done it.
Oh, you've cut out a lot. You've cut out a wee bit there, mate.
The people that I've known are way better than anyone in the magisterium. And you, and at this point, there's a real dangerous look in my eyes. And you still consort with people like the Milos. The family who tried to have me killed on numerous occasions. Who tried to have the daughter of the Blackburns, Knox, killed. Who consort with that evil tiefling, Killian. For all I know, they were responsible. For all I know, they were responsible for the attack on me tonight by the assassins. Don't throw my eyes around it. For all I know, you may have been responsible for that as the way to get rid of that dirty little stain on the family's name. But all I know is, if the soldiers of the matron mother are sent to attack me, someone must have something to do with that.
Roll me an
I don't know.
insight, please.
Sorry, Dad, what was that?
Oh, sorry. I thought, roll me an insight, please.
Okay. Mm, 19.
As you said that about the attack being sent on you from him, you see a twitch in his face. It was very brief. Almost a bit of anger and disgust and hatred, sort of in that one little twitch of his mouth. A bit of pain behind it also. But continue.
Let me go. And I noticed that, Glenn, but I just say nothing about it. And I just look at him and go, and in that time, I found out that my best friend, a Goliath, someone that you would look down on or just treat as a warrior, has lost one of the last members of his family, butchered, decapitated, with his head left on the legs of another child who was taken from his family and tortured, beaten, purely because he wanted to become a knight, and we were trying to help him with that aim. All of this is the fault of that red-skinned bastard who you walked into the ball with proudly earlier. And you still want to stand there and take the moral high ground with me? No. And I got to turn around and walk out the room.
Yeah. The same old Kjorlin. Always has to walk away. But before you go, boy, and he's just going to grab something from his pack and he throws it at you. It appears to be a pile of letters. This will be our last meeting. While you're sitting there in your cell, read them, burn them. It matters not to me anymore. And sort of like stops you from leaving that little bit. Leaving. Like, snaps his fingers. A couple of the guards come up. Just as he's passing you, he just turns to you and says, "You'll never be anything more than a stain on everything I've built."
Just sort of look at him coldly and go, "You've destroyed your own honor by associating with that family. And by the way, you do know that they set everything up that night, don't you? Or did your new bedfellows, I'll just spit that word with venom, not tell you about that?"
He twists a little bit. "This is on you. What they make me do. Everything that has befallen this family, the heartache, the loss." And you see him well up a little bit. Everything. Read those letters. You'll see. Boy. And he just, before he leaves, he just hits you with something even more venomous. It's time to grow up. And he just starts wandering back down those stairs. you see, like I say, the bunch of letters on the ground. Some seem to be a little bit newer, some seem to be a little bit older at the bottom. I will send them over to you when you want them to read in your own, when you get back to the... Well, actually, yeah, I'll let you read these. One of the guards comes back, picks you up, takes you back to the same cell that you were in. As you passed, Emrys was not in his cell.
I sort of look around at the guards in the room and go, "Where's Emrys?"
They just turn to you and say, "The king is dealing with him." So, you are called Gareth, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct, young man.
No, it's Addison, actually.
So, I'll send you this first letter. You can read them out if you want. So that
Where are you?
I'll send them. Would you like them sent in Messenger? Or
Can you send them
what
in,
in what? Sorry.
in Discord?
Yes. What I'll
Buddy,
do,
where you send them, Discord up to you completely.
I will send them to you in Discord. Select all of these, copy, and I'll tell you what one to start from. Well, we've already discussed it earlier on. Start from number 4. They're already marked. Hopefully this doesn't hit any. I'm going to need to send them fucking individually, you dirty bastard.
Oh, Discord character limits.
Yep, it's a fucking pain in the arse, isn't it?
Mm.
But it's cool, we'll be fine. If anybody's listening, we'll sort this out.
Please talk about yourselves, dear listeners.
Yes, RP amongst yourselves. Oh, this is a load of bollocks, honestly. I fucking hate Discord sometimes. So I'll send them to you individually.
Whatever's easier to do. If it's easier to in Messenger, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to do it tonight. Do it whenever.
Oh, I want this RP to come through tonight.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So, as you begin to open up the letters, you notice that they're all sort of postmarked to you, and yet seem to have been picked up. You can ascertain that maybe your father's had the silent network on you a bit longer than what you've originally thought. That's it sent through to Discord now.
Yep. Got the first letter, yep.
Would you like to discuss it with the group? Just from a player standpoint.
It's 3 letters. The first one is from my mother, letting me know that she was ill, and she was very ill. Second one was from my sister, letting me know that I didn't have long to live. And the third was from my brother, telling me that she'd died, and I never knew that she was ill. So my father blocked me from getting all of those letters because he didn't want me to come home.
More of the letters. You go through these three at the top. What do you feel in that moment as you're reading through them in this cold jail cell with everything that's happened this evening?
All the other three people who are in the up cells opposite and the guards can see is me read the first letter and just a look of shock appear on my face. Read the second letter and they can see my face just dropping more, and it's now just a look of panic and distress. And with the third letter, they can just see that at this point, tears start coming out of my eyes. And I just sit down, just holding the letters, and just look up at one of the guards and go, "Can you please, I've got a bag in there, can you please put these letters in there for me?"
You pass off the three letters at the top. Oh, fuck, these are the wrong ones, these top ones. Shit. Shit.
Babel, I got 4, 5, 6.
I'm just... Yeah, 4, 5, 6. Oh god, that brings back bad memories. You all know who the 4, 5, 6 is, yeah?
Rings a bell.
Nope.
Yeah.
They're the ones that steal children from
Torchwood.
Torchwood.
Oh, fuck, oh, yeah.
And... Oh, fuck's sake, come on. My internet's deciding to be a bit of a bastard.
It's just been buggy all evening, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like I've had
it
messages.
actually has.
Like I was texting somebody earlier, and it took 2 hours for the messages to come through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, WhatsApp and Messenger have been like very iffy tonight. Meta's having an issue.
Honestly, it's a pain in the cunt.
Are they
isn't it?
having a meta crisis?
Oh!
If only I had a character to have inspiration.
Yay! I'm just running through some stuff here. Give me 2 seconds. It's the only part of me that's fucking running. So, can I get, as you start looking through a lot of the other letters, some of it just seems to be the usual bump and hay and all that sort of stuff, you know. But one set catches you up a little bit more. Can I get a history check from you, please, Stormcrow?
You can. Fucking that one. 7.
Oh. You don't catch it from the outside, but as you start reading this one, memories begin to return of a female elf, beautiful red hair, shoulder length, strumming away on a lute, making the sweetest music during your college days. Freckles on her face. The most beautiful smile you had ever seen. The name escaped you for a second, but the postmark at the bottom with her signature, you instantly get it. Elisith. Have you read through?
Yep.
How do you feel, Stormcrow, reading the information on that letter?
He's gone from being totally distraught at reading about his mother's passing to just shock and, for the first time tonight, a little bit of happiness.
You begin to read the second letter, letter number 2. And you realise the dates. And how far back your father has been holding this information. So, for reference, where you guys are now, obviously with the time jump and everything, you are sitting in the year 6213.
Jesus.
Would you like to tell Addison and Stuart what's in the letters, or would you like to leave that for a different day?
I'll leave that for a different day.
Okay. We'll rewind once again.
Sorry, just very quickly above table before we do that. Sorry, people on Twitch, you're gonna have to wait and find that out in the future.
Oh, yes.
We've got to hold something back.
Yes. We might do a Thursday game next week, if people are up for it, in order to have a little send-off for the year. But Emrys,
Yes.
you get pulled through to the other room and locked away from your friends. A few minutes later, Stormcrow wanders through. You have your little interaction with him. And then a few minutes after that, you feel a sudden shift in the way that the guards are moving. I am going to have to go to the toilet because I've just been absolutely hit with something there. I apologise, anybody listening. Be back in 2 seconds. RP amongst yourselves. Jesus Christ.
Before you say anything, no, I'm not saying anything when he's out of the room.
Yeah, dang it. Then again, saying that, the stream is still live, so I get it.
It has literally been what the fuck after what the fuck so far.
Yeah.
He kept to his word.
He
Yep.
did indeed.
By the way, Stuart, did you get my little reference as well with the trigger word I had from Darren?
Nope.
Hard times. I dropped a couple of. We worked this out a while ago. I dropped a couple of references from Dusty's hard time speech.
Awesome.
Which, if you haven't seen it, Addison, is probably one of the best wrestling promos of all time.
Jesus.
You shall have to link it to me after the session.
Dusty
Well-
Rhodes had probably the greatest promo of all time.
Then
I was hoping you weren't using that tonight, even though I did set you up a little bit. I did say one of the last times I would give you a thingy for it, so you could think on it for later down the line. But if you wanted to use it, it was still fucking heart-wrenching tonight. I will give you that. So, Emrys,
Yep.
the way everybody starts moving and getting themselves ready, you hear one of the doors opening, and the figure of King Turkano walks into the hall. He stops just before your cell.
Emrys will slowly raise his head up, see that it's the king, and then stand up.
You see he's not in like the full regalia that he was during the ball. He seems to be in what would be considered almost night clothes, but still got a regal look to it. So, I was not expecting this tonight. On a night that I had begged you all last night to be on your best behaviour, did I not?
You did.
Now, he puts his hand up. I have been informed by everyone the mitigating circumstances before me to help render judgment. He brings out a small familiar crystal, places his hand out on it. The hand out. If you would bring your hand, if you would put your hand on mine, your hand, not hand.
Emrys will slowly place his hand on top.
Sweet. Give me an Arcana check, please.
Seven.
7. You try pushing through the memories of the evening, but your mind is so clouded, all you can get through is hurt, rage, pain, anger, bloodlust. You focus on different faces, but it comes through, everything coming through jumbled through the memory shard. It seems to be connecting to the king. Nothing making sense. And you just keep seeing the box. You keep seeing the rage, you keep focusing on the blades cutting through and taking down the guards. But all you keep focusing on with that is how they tried to help you in the moment before. Then you started attacking. He breaks the connection and looks at you, disappointed in his eyes. In his eyes. Emrys. I had hoped that I have lost children in the past. Not many people know of this, but I have. There's no greater pain for a father to lose one of his own. But this...
Do you know the pain of having hope he may still be alive to find out that he has been murdered by the person that murdered the rest of your family?
Ooh.
With tears starting to well up in his eyes.
I have lost children in war, but never in the way you have described. But this... And he just sort of grabs the crystal and does his magic to project around you the memory of the battlefield, or the slaughter, we'll call it. You see the bodies of the men you killed. Does this merit? Did they deserve this from your hurt?
No one deserves this. Emrys drops to one knee and starts praying to Osiris.
Give me a religion check, please.
12.
Pray. And when usually you feel something from your God, you feel a void envelop you. Almost as if there's nothing there anymore.
Emrys starts to feel cold and alone. Returning to his feet.
Yep, on you go.
He feels cold and alone, returning to his feet, looking the king dead in the eyes. These actions are my actions. My friends had nothing to do with what happened. Or whatever punishment is on me, not on them.
You will be punished. This I can promise you. He signals to someone in a doorway. The punishment for killing royal guards is death by hanging
Imris's head just drops.
But due to the circumstances and due to everything you have done for this kingdom, he starts twiddling something on his hand. I choose an extreme option we have not used in millennia. I will not send you to the void of death. I will send you somewhere possibly a lot worse. Give you an unknown factor in your life. The person that walks over is like a small, stout dwarf, but he seems to be carrying something quite big on this, like in this box. Opens it up, and the king very trustingly opens up your cell himself, and then grabs the thing from the box. This is a design we have procured and altered for our own sake. We took it from the expansionists at the south of this continent, that Byzan Empire. And he takes like the sheet off of it. It appears to be some sort of collar. Large enough for a Goliath. Please allow this to be put on.
I calmly drop down to my knees, my chest thumping with the sound of my heart beating so hard.
He takes the collar and with a crack you feel it choke and you feel something magical start sealing the collar in a choking manner around your throat. Not to the point that you can't breathe, but this is now firmly tight. The collar seems to have been made from stellarite, by the way.
Yes.
This will block any magic to or from you. This will now be part of your penance. Is there anything from your pack you wish to be brought to you?
Just my blades.
They will be waiting for you in the hall.
And if someone found the teddy bear, I would like that too.
I'll say that, yeah, they found it on the ground. They brought that with them. And I will give you the box to do with what you deserve to do with it. In your own traits and your own manners, you will do what you deserve afterwards. Guards, You see him off, and they come towards you and start shackling you once again. You feel this tightness of this collar, like it's not going to come off anytime soon. The guards are all moving down this way. And you wander with them into a strange room, glowing with magical energies. You see Endymion pouring magic into a strange circle in the ground. Give me an Arcana check, please.
$18.
Damn.
Your time spent with Mouse in temples and speaking to Vondra and knowledge of the old ways of Goliath herds traversing from different continents. You can tell exactly what this is. This is a teleportation circle. The king
Turns to the king.
Hmm?
I turn to the king and say, before you send me away, can I make 3 small requests, please?
I'll allow it.
The gold in my pack, I would like that given to the families of the people I murdered.
He nods.
My items to be given to my friends.
He nods again.
And finally, a message to be given to Stormcrow. And tell him he is not to blame. Tears start running down his face. He is not to blame. I will see him at our home when the time is right.
He
And
nods
then
once
he
more.
thinks it's in shame.
The king passes you your blades and respectfully passes you the box. You step on the circle. The punishment is banishment from Starlight Peaks. I, King Torcano the Wise, decree this, that Emrys of the Gate, Goliath, Lord, and member of the Arashatra, shall never step foot in my kingdom again, under penalty of death. Where you go, we will not know. All I say is, good luck.
Thank you for sparing my life.
He bows and walks out of the room. Endymion, just channeling his magic through, begins the final part of the teleportation circle. I can't know where you went. The sigils that will teleport you will randomly be chosen by themselves.
Thank you.
Your friends won't be able to find you. And you will not be able to find them, unless by chance. Nothing, apart from our smiths, will ever be able to break that collar from your neck. We will pass on your messages to your friends and your loved ones. It was an honour.
Emrys will be firm. Emrys will be firmly holding the box in his hand and stand up strong and tall. And just nod.
He nods, walks out. You feel a sort of pulse from the teleportation circle. You still have a minute or two. Would you like to look in the box?
No.
Are you sure?
Out of fear of losing my shit, I will not look in the box.
Roll me a wisdom save, please.
"13.
Compulsion overtakes you to look in the box.
Shit.
Oh, crap.
You open up and you see the head of Lygus in the box. You lift it up, and as you do, something that the group never noticed. Under the head, carved into the bottom of the box, there's a strange symbol, magical in its presentation. But beside it is writing in Goliath. And it reads this: "Pup, keep out of the way, or next time it'll be his real head in the box.
Fuck! What?
Motherfucker!
No!
Enjoy the father-son reunion." And as you read that, the small glyph beside the writing flashes up. The head that appears to be Lygus begins to melt. The youthful look disintegrating and slopping down. The black hair disappearing, and small tufts of now faded red hair appear. And in your hand, instead of the decapitated head of your young son, a now desiccated head that long ago you seen die, with one good eye left. Even then it's not good, it's greyed and nothing left of it. The rest, you could see through the bone or the muscle all collapsed in. Somebody has disguised the token head of the chieftain of the gate to be your son's. The face that, as you were growing up, you would run to when he would return from battle, from scavenging. The head of your fallen father, Chieftain Besaid, was transmuted to look like your son. The realization of everything you've done kicks in as you feel the pulse of the teleport. Woof! And Emrys of the Gate is gone. And guys, that's where we're going to finish up this evening.
Holy... What?
I have been sitting on this for 6 weeks.
Jesus Christ!
Well, I mean, Mike, this sound is just going to give it away, mate. Well played.
Yeah. God dang it.
So, if there's anybody been watching or anybody rewatching in the VOD, I hope you enjoyed this session. I called it a mini session, even though it's just nearly running the same amount of time as usual. Thank you very much for joining. Hopefully you enjoyed the twist endings there.
Twists.
So
A lot of-
twisty. I don't... What?
I did say that there was going to be a lot of what the fuck moments tonight. Did I not?
Yep.
You did fulfill that promise.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
you met that.
so, thank you very much for anybody watching. We will end the stream there. Good night.
Good night, gang.
We might be back next week, next Thursday, for a little end of year session. But who knows? Good night.
Before everyone goes, Darren, do you want to let them know about the video that you're going to drop the link to?
Yes, what I will be doing, I will upload it when I can. The mini session that me and Stuart had last night to determine what was actually happening. Everything that happened was not just written off the top of our head. We played it last night to see how things went. And this was a very good segue into the whole thing, I believe.
Damn, Stuart! Damn it!
That's it.
And-
I'm keeping busy.
That video will be up some point within the next week. I will probably do it the weekend at some point, so anybody wants to watch that, they can.